doubles and coffee. At some point in time, we have to get serious in this country, It is unbelievable that the mass media allows the country to go in all sorts of directions away from the truth. The truth is that the People's National Movement has been in control of this country for more than 75% of its existence since independence, and 5 years before that. So if Tobago has been disrespected, if Tobago is having problems for autonomy and for self-governance and issues of being treated as second-class citizens, it is the PNM. So Rowley sits in the parliament as a Tobagonian, having been prime minister for 9 years and having done absolutely nothing to move Tobago forward to self-determination, to respect, boasting of the self-esteem and ability to handle its own affairs. Rowley as a Tobagonian has left Tobago in the lurch as a Tobagonian prime minister. Yet somehow the media is trying to discuss different aspects down to Farley, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine talking the truth. But anybody who knows Rowley knows he's an Oreo, knows that he feels ashamed of his blackness, knows that he allows people of a lighter hue to disrespect him and talk to him as he wants. I have heard it, I have seen it, and I understand it. Rowley is a sick fellow. He's not full of pride and black consciousness. Rowley is one of those, we know that. But in a serious issue about autonomy for Tobago, where the United National Congress, who respects Tobago and believes and shows by not even disrespecting Tobago to put a Trinidad party over there to go in seats, people twist that and try to say, oh, it's disrespect for Tobago that the UNC does not put candidates. Abject, total nonsense. It is respect. If you are not over there, if you're not active over there, if you're not part and parcel of the life, if you're not born there, then listen to those who are born there, who live there, who've grown up there, who feel the feel of disrespect of decades of being treated as a second-class citizen. The UNC put forward the views of the THA, consulted with the THA, consulted with Tobagonians, Jerlene John, and other UNC members in the Joint Select Committee put in a minority report showing that the PNM once again didn't consult, didn't take the views of anybody else, didn't care to show respect for Tobagonians in bringing this bill forward. The PNM ignored all the recommendations and come and say, well, the UNC blocked Tobago autonomy. The bills had nothing to do with autonomy. The bills would still make Tobagonians have to bow and talk and beg to the central government. It is nothing. Just like when Rowley was in the lead of the opposition. So you have 9 years as prime minister and an additional 5.5 years as leader of the opposition. And all Rowley has done is thwart the will of the people of Tobago. Yet somehow, some way, we're discussing other things. Rowley got up when Kamala Prasad, the Trinidad party, the partnership, those who say that she only cared about Trinidad and not Tobago, she brought a bill that was powerful, that was strong, not perfect, but that was moving Tobago in the right direction. Rowley got up, did not even research his own points, did not make his own feelings felt, regurgitated word for word, point by point, 6 points made by Winford James in a column a few days before the debate, without giving Winford James credit, by the way, because when I heard Rowley debating the bills back in 2013, 2014, I said, but wait, now I hear this before. Where I hear this before, and when I pull through my papers and my files, I see a column by Winford James. Tobago has been disrespected by a Tobagonian prime minister. His name is Keith Christopher Rowley. So stop the obfuscation and the lies. Tobago must be consulted. Any bill coming to the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago must have the unanimous support of Tobagonians, the THA, and citizens across Tobago. There must be consultation, not 2 days of consultation, but that is the PNM. If you think back or you read back, some of y'all not old enough to be back then, but you could have read the historical text of when Trinidad and Tobago was seeking independence and getting our first constitution. The PNM wrote the constitution, and the Attorney General of the PNM said that he didn't consult and he drew up a document because that's what we in Trinidad and Tobago were trained to follow. They then thwarted debate and consultation, gave people of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago only 33 days to comment on a constitution charting an independent nation. And when people came up like Ashworth Sinanan and so on, and others, even Ken Gordon, young Ken Gordon back then, they said, but this is madness, we need more time. They called a consultation and you only allowed to speak 5 minutes. That is the PNM. That is the DNA of the PNM. The PNM feels that they're the be-all and end-all of everything in Trinidad and Tobago. And on top of that now, the PNM has the most dishonest leader. So when Rowley can get in the parliament and lie and say that Chief Secretary Farley Augustine and the THA only at the last minute made their views heard and felt, when they have been doing so for the last 10 years, when they did so in 2018, when they did so when he tried to cheat and steal our election by changing and instructing the EBC to change boundaries in Tobago so PNM could win. Rowley sat there in the parliament recently and just lied. But I'll just pull back something for you to show you when you elect a liar what takes place. This is an editorial from the Express, and the date of it is the 20th of December 2017. Getting to the truth of Emailgate. This is the Express that has supported and promoted and upheld the PNM. Predictably, the loudest howls in response to the news that the police investigation into the so-called Emailgate affair has found nothing of substance is coming from the opposition United National Congress. But the person who should be most horrified by the disclosure from the acting Commissioner of Police, Stephen Williams, is Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. As the then leader of the opposition, it was Dr. Rowley who came to Parliament with the astounding, damning allegations against then Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and senior members of her cabinet. Having unleashed a barrage of political ammunition upon his opponents, Dr. Rowley called for a criminal investigation. Now that the investigation has come and gone and found nothing to warrant prosecution, what does Dr. Rowley have to say about his actions back then and about his own commitment to parliamentary responsibility? This is the Express from 2017. While from a prosecutorial perspective, the Director of Prosecution should hasten to bring this seedy matter to closure. Seedy matter brought by a man who was leader of the opposition, then became Prime Minister under this seedy information. It should bring this matter to closure. It should not be allowed to end there, at least from the perspective of the public interest. All citizens, especially the Prime Minister, should want to know how something like this could have happened in the first place. If he was an innocent purveyor of mischief, Dr. Rowley, above all, should be horrified by his role in it. If, however, he was a willing participant, there should be consequences, and serious ones at that. What have been the consequences? Promotion to Prime Minister, giving a second term as Prime Minister, putting him in charge of our country's future, negotiating with Maduro and Delcy, damaging our economy, creating a foreign exchange crisis, creating a situation where blood flows in our streets daily and we're going to cross 600 murders, collapsing our country into a failed state status. That has been the reward of a blatant liar, a man who knew that he was going to lie, a man who had things that he knew were concocted and fabricated, held them for 6 months, called Parliament, lied for an hour and 15 minutes. His first 13 minutes was why it was okay for him to lie, because he knew he was going to lie. And now you wonder why he continues to lie, even about the land of his birth, the island of his birth, and attacks Tobagonians with such a vile, disrespectful manner. It's because he's not a normal human being. He's a miscreant, he's delusional, and he's a pathological liar. Therein lies the problems of Trinidad and Tobago. The only solution in Trinidad, Tobago, and anywhere else you get a chance is to vote him out. CARICOM observers, US observers, Carter observers, Commonwealth observers, all observers to observe the EBC, led by the niece of a former sitting PNM minister and the best friend of Nyan Gadsby Dolly. That's what is required. All of us to unite and vote UNC. This lying Prime Minister needs to go. It is disgusting. And for the media who upholds him, shame on you all.